be over prepared.
There we are.
Good evening, Melrose. Good evening, Melrosians the world over. I'm Tom Catalini.
I'm Tom Shampoo.
I'm Sam Hammer. I'm Sam.
I go last time, you guys.
This is Let's Talk Melrose. Melrose, a show where Melrosians talk to Melrosians about Melrose, and
or cough about Melrose.
Fall is in the air. I got a cup of hot tea here. I'm, hunkered down this evening, Tom.
Yeah,
it's chilly tonight, and it's going to get really chilly in the overnight tonight. By the way, for those weather fans out there, it's fall. Here we are, fall. The end of September, fall started officially.
Chili, like I need to bring my plants in. Chili.
I think some of them you might want to bring them in. Yeah,
oh, wow.
The tropical plants for sure.
I don't think I've been on the show since we were all sweating a lot.
I was going to say, let's just pause for a moment to look at the four of us all together again.
Welcome back, Sam Hammer.
Yay!
It's cold outside, but it warms my heart. Sam.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet.
Good to have
everybody. What have you been up
together.
to, Sam?
Yeah, what's going on?
I don't know. I had a Tuesday night free. I figured I'd pop over. Yes. Hi.
My word.
Hi.
Are you really asking?
Yeah.
We'll get into that. We will get into that.
Yes. Who's in control of the show here, Tom? Assert some control.
What is going on here? I wanted to just share with everybody. I got two pieces of information, two pieces of mail today that reminded me that I'm old. One was an AARP reminder. There, Mr. Shampoo, please join. And I said, no, that's okay. But I also got a survey. I don't know if people saw this. A survey from the city of Melrose. This select 5,000 people. I feel special. Over a certain age to do this old man survey and talk about services for senior citizens. And it's from the Milano Center. I'm not making fun of it. So thank you for sending it out to me. But I do feel like I'm an old man suddenly when I have to do this old man survey. What kinds of services do you need? What kind of services do you think you need? What kind of a vehicle do you drive? Do you listen to Lawrence Welk? Like all these weird questions.
But this is you can be really helpful to the older adults in Melrose. Like keep cool stuff happening.
Is that how I should view it, Jen?
Beer gardens.
Yes. Oh, I like this. I like this idea. You're going to be a new vocal advocate.
I don't want to be an advocate. I don't want to be a liaison. I don't want to be.
You're the new kid on the street. What the people want. Yes.
So, but there's a survey out there. So if you do stumble across the survey, I think you're right. It does help the city understand what kinds of services it needs to provide for our senior citizens.
It's a fair point too, though. If it's your first time getting the survey, you're the young one in the crowd.
Yeah, it is.
New kid. New kid.
New ideas.
Yes.
I'm going to put that in my survey questions. I want some more beer gardens. I
want some 8-track players and.
Whatever happened to Donny Osmond? But come on, bring him back.
Oh boy.
So wait, do we have the survey that we? Oh no, we shouldn't put it in the link because
I don't. No, it came in the mail. It was mailed to me.
It was
non-clickable.
You have to get the invitation.
And it's also, but it's also like it's handwritten questions. It's not like a checkbox or like 1 to 5. It's like tell me more about you, like where you live, and you have to like handwrite the answer. So it's going to be interesting for them to parse that information out. Good luck to them. All right, I'm done. My little rant.
Not for nothing, but the AARP invite comes with a car organizer. I'm just saying. All in. Like
no
you,
kidding,
can call, you can call me elderly. You can call me old. I don't care. I get a car organizer.
My offer was a free like a backpack cooler for like picnics.
You don't need that. We know you don't need that.
We had that covered. All right. Anyway, enough of the old people. So let's move on to other topics.
Okay.
Well, we had an election last week.
Oh. Are we going there?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I think we want to get into it. That's what the
Yeah.
people are. That's what the people are
Yeah.
waiting for. Sam, we're thrilled to
Yes.
have you back on the show.
We are. Yeah.
It's pretty. I knew it.
And
Oh, the
Get
blazer is coming
blazer.
on.
Get it.
Oh my God.
Get the blue blazer on. All right.
Yes.
Talk to us, Sam. Talk to the people.
Well, I just want to thank everyone who came out to vote last week and before, and early voting, et cetera. It was an amazing election, and experience. I loved the journey. I met so many new Melrosians, new to me. Thanks to Jen on the on the TV. We had over 26 house parties at night. And,
Wow.
and it was a lot. We had a lot of house parties and lots of people engaged and came out in the summer to like talk about Melrose and to talk about things that they care about and talk, ask questions, get questions answered, and to just have conversations together, which was really, again, it was summertime through most of this. And people came out almost every night of the week to go to a neighbor's house to talk about Melrose. And that was really amazing. And some of the conversations were the same and some of them were really different. It really varied.
Yeah.
So,
one thing I was observing is I know personally, I feel at least personally, I could not survive a campaign. It seems like a ton of work and a ton of effort to be out there to make sure that you are getting in front of people and talking and listening and just being a part of the community in a way that others aren't. So I'm grateful for your running. I'm grateful for everybody running because you're stepping up to represent Melrose in some way. I am disappointed that the turnout was not as high as I thought it should be, because that is a measure of support behind all the candidates coming out to vote for them, right? So I hope that the November election has a higher turnout. But again, thank you for running and thank you for being who you are and spending all that time in people's living rooms to hear what they're thinking about, what concerns them, what they're happy about, what they love about Melrose, and what they hope is able to improve. So I really feel like it was an enormous plus to see you go through what you went through and to see the election and to see how you care so much about the city of Melrose. Everybody who's involved in that.
Yeah, it was really, again, all the people who came out. We had, and on top of 26 house parties, we went around and we had coffees almost every weekend. We were out at parklets. We had like 8 public events. We did happy hours. So people would just pop over to the Rising Eagle for some happy hours. We were out all the time. We knocked on hundreds of doors, and Melrosians really care about this community very deeply. So it was very heartening and energizing every single night. I did have to take a snooze in the middle of the day. I learned about this new concept thanks to Michelle Carson called a calf nap or a nappuccino.
Yes.
Where you take some coffee and then you like lay down, and then by the time you get up, you got the zing again.
Oh,
that was super helpful.
Okay.
I obviously don't do the health and wellness portion of the show.
Right.
But Melrosians,
What
I learned was people obviously care very much about our financial stability and stability in our community and our schools. But also we talked a lot about possibility and what the things that we talk about a lot on the show here, the things we can do if we want to, like beer gardens or, other cultural events or, ways we can use technology to open up some of the city services that we have so people can see what they're receiving.
Right.
So
Pop-up stores.
Intentional about our development. Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So a quick shout out to the whole team. I usually start with Peter because he's their sign king, Peter Mortimer. We had Jenny Leclerc. There were like 3 J's: Jen, Jess Dugan, Jackie Lavender Bird, Gail Inferna, Yael Mazur Garfinkel. We had some in and out time with Steve Cazella and Mike McLaughlin came and popped in and out, which was very helpful. And then we had 4 M's, Melinda Stockwell, Maeve McAllister, Matt Sterick down the street, and the boss lady, Michelle Carson, who she said she didn't want anything to do with this, and then couldn't get enough. So yeah,
He is a force.
so we had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think some of you missed. We were at the kitchen one night. We had amazing food at the kitchen for a fundraiser. Then we went to Eric Donato and Juliet Leiden's backyard. We had burgers and bourbon. So if you missed that, we'll have to do it again because that was a lot of fun. So we had fun. We engaged a lot of people, and yeah, we changed the conversation. I think in Melrose, I think we elevated what's possible here. So
I agree. And I will say, you inspired a lot of people, Sam Hammer, including me. I was happy to be part of the team. I learned a lot. I'd never done this before. I'd never been inspired enough to put in this kind of work. So you really do inspire people in this community. Your leadership is really knows no bounds. So thank you for doing what you did.
well, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It was something to see. Very proud of you, Sam, and was excited the way you ran the campaign, and then disappointed with the results. I'm sure with a lot of people, and I mean, it was just such a close race across the board. Yeah, I don't know. It was, I guess, interesting to see how tight it was, but also like this is how close you came, and I was very excited to have you go on to the next level, and sort of disappointed that that's not going to happen. But here we go. I'm also curious, like for you. So you talked a lot about the people who helped the campaign, about Melrose. Like for you personally, like what was it like to go from just a pillar of the community, being an LTMM co-host, to really put yourself out there and go to the next level? I mean, that is something. That's a unique thing to put yourself through. Obviously, I saw the passion and the commitment, and listened wholeheartedly to what you wanted to accomplish in your vision. I think that was attractive to me and a lot of people. But what was it like taking that ride? I don't know if you'd share like a little bit about like the journey, like making that transition, and what the experience was like for you.
Yeah, so I think the first thing that we had to figure out was how to establish myself as a serious human being with a lot of experience working in cities and state government. So that was a great hurdle to like dig up all the work that I used to do. But somebody called it courage. I call it a certain level of insanity and compulsion that kept driving me, because this show was born out of a need for civic engagement. That's how this show started. And that's what we've been doing for 4 years now. And I just took the show on the road, I guess you could say. People really wanted to know, they were excited about the things we talk about here, excited about the things that we can do here, how we kind of dive into certain topics with our guests to understand how the city functions, and the parts of the community that are boards and commissions, and how they support the work that we do from a volunteer perspective. So everything that we've done here in the last 4 years, I kind of was able to, bring the show on the road and bring it to people's houses so we can, talk through it further. I could not say enough about how much people love this community. I said the best problem we have is that nobody wants to leave.
Right. So yes, this is true. So Sam, what you didn't mention in the way you just described that is, we bring people on the show and stuff. You took the show on the road, but more often than not, you're the expert in the room. Like, you have the experience, you've done this work. So more often than not on the show, and it was evident on your road show that you're the expert in the room most of the time. So.
It's interesting. There's a gentleman who wrote into the paper last week. And I don't have it in front of me. I don't have his name, but he talked about the way that the campaign was running. It reminds me just what you were saying. So you're knocking on doors. Other people running for the office are knocking on doors. Everybody's mailing out leaflets. There were a number of community forums where you got like a slate of questions, and you got a chance to prepare some answers, and those were I thought really, really useful and really good. But what this guy wrote in the papers, you're like, oh, there's no like town hall event where just a regular citizen can raise their hand in a room and kind of ask the candidates a question, or even have the candidates interact with each other. And I think that's a spot we've been trying to fill on this show, is like, where's there a space for like less formal, more
Right.
conversation that's still meaningful to people who want to engage and understand a little bit more about the community. So like, as a candidate, is that something, or I was a candidate, non-candidate, I was wondering what you all think about like that kind of forum. That letter really resonated with me, and I was trying to double click on the paper, but I wasn't able to give any. I wasn't able to give any feedback. Yeah, I drew a thumbs up and I mailed it back to the.
So I said right before all of these forums, I would rather sing the national anthem at Gillette Stadium than the forums were great to have, but the pressure was also pretty great. You have just 2 to 3 minutes to say all of the things you really care about in a very succinct fashion. So that, to me, and some of them we got the questions in advance, so some of the things were more scripted than others. But the format that I liked the best was what had been done in Winchester at the Winchester Library. They brought in 3 candidates last time I ran, and they had tables of people who
that's for state senate, by the way,
Yep.
so folks know, and that's why you would be in Winchester.
Just hanging out. But they had tables of people who were curious, and the candidates rotated around the table. So we
like a
would sit
speed
down.
dating kind of thing, where they
Yes, exactly, like
Yeah,
a speed
yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
And it was high energy, and people were really excited. They wanted to ask the same questions. It was all varied, but it was a conversation. And to me, that was the best format that I've ever experienced, where we actually had a good dialogue and got some really deep content out from just the table and from the candidates. That was the best to me. I don't know how we would replicate that with a giant room of people or videotape that, but to me, that was the best.
I mean, as a voter, I feel like it would be, to answer your question, Tom, I feel like it would be beneficial to have an opportunity to have a direct engagement opportunity for the public to say, I have a question for you, candidate X or whoever. And you're right, it didn't happen that way. There was a heating issue, right? So one of the forums was online only, which changed the format a little bit, so people were not in the audience the way they would have been.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, but I think that's part of what small cities try to do, which is to bring everyone together in a way to have those dialogues. It's really critical, I think. So I'm sorry that we didn't get a chance to do that as much as we hoped for. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Well,
Yeah, but I'm very grateful for having the experience and the privilege of and the luxury of being able to take every night off. So hats off to my mom, Linda, who was the pillar in the house, making sure nothing totally fell apart. And then, of course, John, who was happy to stay home every night and not go to campaign events. But and the kids, of course, they really did tolerate quite a bit of absentee. So yeah, we made it. We survived.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you for giving us the overview of your experience. Also. Yeah. All right. Now onto the now your life is easy and boring. Like you just be take that blazer off. I don't want to see that blazer again. Oh my gosh. All right. So
now what do we do?
What else is going on around here?
Yeah, now what do we do?
Are
we going on to the news?
Yeah, quickly, because now we got to get to some. We got to get
to the thing.
We got to get to the news. We got some
news. We have news to do.
You got.
Actually, if you don't mind, I do have some breaking news.
Oh,
okay.
I was
water main
granted
breaking news.
So more information is coming out in the newspaper on Friday. Thank you. But if you're around, if you could take a little bit before you go to the beer garden, to head to the Knights of Columbus on Sunday from 1 to 3. There's going to be a launch of Melrose Responds, which is the campaign to encourage folks to vote yes for the debt exclusion coming up on the ballot on November 7th. So
wow.
head down to the head down to the Knights and check it out and see what's
From
going on.
when to when?
Wow.
I believe it's, I said it already. I think it's Sunday from 1 to 3 at the Knights, but
Okay.
I will
Is it upstairs or
confirm.
downstairs? Downstairs are the Knights?
I assume downstairs. All the
think
questions. But yes.
Just
So
walk in, you'll find it.
Yeah. And that's walking distance to the beer garden. That's
That
easy.
It certainly
certainly
is right. A
is.
couple of blocks.
Easy. Oh, cool. That's great. That's great. And thank you to everybody who's working really hard on that also. We'll be following that. So there was a water main break.
Well, you got a phone call. Didn't you get a phone call?
Because I still have a kid in that high school. I have one more year in high school. So I had been dropping her off that day, actually. Dropped her off, went around the corner, needed to drive to work. And I get the phone call. Like, the kids can't be in school today. They're shutting off the water. Like, that would be a disaster in a high school. They're shutting off the water for the day or for the so come back and pick up your kids, or if your kids are bused in, like the Metco buses stayed behind so they could get everybody home. But also shout out. So the communications, the communications went out. It was there were several different channels. So some quicker than others. But I will say I got a phone call right away. So that was cool. It occurred to me later, we were talking about this last night. If the city wants to add to their communications, it might be really smart to give a heads up to all of the breakfast places and coffee shops and bagel places, because incoming, because there's going to be a million teenagers who are not going back home right now.
They want French toast.
They want French toast and coffee. Yeah, so heads up.
Yeah.
Incoming. So I thought that's something we're going to need to add to our communications plan. But also, quick shout out to the kitchen, who they are amazing. Thought on their feet. They posted something immediately, said, we're rounding up our chefs if your kids need someplace to be.
Yep.
And they ran an impromptu free class for. I think it was free. Yeah, free class for kids that afternoon.
They made donuts and had pizza.
Nice.
Oh, how great is that?
So great.
I love that place.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. No kidding.
Awesome.
Excellent. I just popped in a notice on the news item that there was a jet engine noise, only because it was posted on the community page. People were hearing this noise. Last night, there was some malfunctioning of a plant over in Saugus. It was some turbine that kind of broke, I guess, and they let some steam off, and this noise happened, and it bothered people. People were concerned about jet engine noise that didn't go away. Anyway, it should be all set now. I think we're okay now, and all is well.
Well, I need to know what you're eating, Sam.
What? She's what?
I just figured I could take a break while Tom was talking about the jet engine.
Are you snacking while I'm giving the news items? Wow.
Grapes, maybe?
All right. And who's doing DEI training, by the way?
Me.
There you go, Sam.
All right. So the city is following through and committing to the diversity, equity, inclusion training for city hall staff.
Nice.
The training is called Bigger Than Racism, Understanding Racialization and Structural Advantage as it relates to the Commonwealth. And so to ensure that all staff can attend, some of the city offices will be closed tomorrow, including the library from 9:45 to 1:30, Department of Public Works from 9:45 to 12:15, and Health and Human Services 9:45 to 12:15 as well. But it sounds like a great program.
All right, so those three departments are covered. Is that how it works? Like, they're going through several departments at a time? Or something?
I think what I understood was that they are going to be slim staff throughout. Mm-hmm. Those will definitely be shut down during those times.
I see. Okay, gotcha. Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha.
But very cool. Thanks for doing that.
Thanks for committing to that, city officials.
All right. And let's see, I have some more election news. And so put the slate up so everybody can see it.
There you go. One easy chart.
So so we talked about the election, and so what the other thing that happened in addition to the mayoral primary was that everything was finalized. All the due dates were met to certify everybody else who was going to run, and this has been posted by Mayor Broder and a couple of places on Facebook. I got a screenshot of that. There's the slate. You can find that. But I thought it was interesting that in the city council, we've got 7 wards and 4, I think, at-large seats. Wards 1, 3, 4, 5, 7 are uncontested. So we're sort of lucky we have even one candidate in each of those wards. Wards 2 and 6 are competitive. There's 2 candidates in each of those races.
Mhm.
The 4 at-large seats, there's 10 people running for the at-large seat. So it's
Wow.
kind of wild. Like there's
Yeah.
a lot of interest in that. So that's super competitive. And on the school committee, there are 4 candidates, I think, for 3 seats that are open. So a little bit of an uneven, mix of competition there. So and among the people running for city council at large is our former police chief, Mike Lyle.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's interesting, and you can see the slate at the city website or online. But I think the races continue here, and there's a lot to shake out. Well, so we'll
There's
see.
a lot to check out. Those are the folks who need to earn your vote now. So
Right.
Go get
And
them.
that's what we're here for, right? We're here to make sure that people know and people are engaged and people get out there and vote. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Which was funny. Like I didn't get a notice about. I got a notice about the water main break just by being on the alert list, but you didn't get many notices or communications about the elections. I noticed afterwards.
No.
All right. Great point.
Yeah.
No, sadly.
So we're here to remind people. So I think it's what is it? November 8th? Is that
7th,
election
I
day?
believe.
7th. See, there you go.
So that's what you get when you don't send out the information.
November 8th, 2025.
Is it the first Tuesday in November or the second Tuesday?
The 8th could be the second, I guess.
No, like
first
The
would be
7th.
It's
Yeah,
So yeah.
it's the
All right,
7th. Sorry, yeah, it's the
Just move
7th.
on before we make this
All
worse.
I think it's the first Tuesday after the first Monday or some such thing.
Oh my God.
That's true.
I think that's right. I
Yeah,
think that's right.
yeah.
So it can't be the 7th.
It is. So,
Okay.
I don't know.
Sam would know.
but don't, if you're planning on voting any other way, please make a plan.
Yeah.
If you used to get your ballot by mail and haven't in a bit,
You can request it again. Yeah,
request it again. That's
Easy.
very easy. All you have to do is it's on the Secretary of State site. You can even email Miss Rossi at the city, and they will hook you up for that, so you get your ballot by mail. I don't know about early voting yet, but it might be online. I don't know.
Yeah.
So November 7th is the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're both right.
All right. It's possible that both of us are right.
Okay.
Arts and culture. What's happening arts and culture wise?
This next part, this is always my favorite section. We're getting to this a little bit late, but lots of stuff going on this weekend. One of everybody's favorites. Starting this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then until it rains. Follow Your Art Community Studios annual Chalk Walk. This is their biggest fundraiser and community event of the year.
Boom! Look at that.
Yeah. It's really great. So both at El Pond and then some bigger installations at City Hall Plaza, local established and emerging artists will chalk up all over Melrose, sponsored by community members and corporate sponsors. And this, again, like I said, this is their biggest and one of their most important fundraisers of the year. It raises funds for their Arts for All program, which provides scholarships, adaptive services, free and reduced community programming to ensure that everyone has access to creative opportunities.
Wow.
There's a press release. Did we put that up there?
I did not see. I did not. The actual press release?
Yeah, or their website too. Either one.
Yeah. I was going to ask. I was going to put you on the spot, Jen. So, how does the fundraiser work? Who's raising?
Sponsor? Yeah. So you sponsor a square. You can donate.
Okay.
There's a couple. You can donate a couple of different ways. You can donate. I believe for a smaller square, or for someone to participate, or to pass it on. So there's smaller squares over by El Pond.
Yeah.
But then you can sponsor one of the larger squares. Is a
great.
little bit more. Yeah, and then you're partnered. Then you're partnered with an artist in town. So
Oh,
yeah.
that's fantastic. Good luck to them.
Yeah. And then other stuff going on this weekend. There's more to do after you go check out, and it's timed really well. There's no conflict here. There's no overlap. It's timed really well. So after you check out the chalk drawings in the morning, you can then go
Porch Fest, which
Porch
was
Fest.
postponed, so rained out last weekend. So for Melrose, I think Roslindale and Hull, at least that I know of, all had Porch Fests planned on the 23rd and are all moved till tomorrow. So the honeybees, I think we have a subset in a rogue installation somewhere in the city, but all the logistics kind of threw everything into a tizzy. So thank you very much to the Porch Fest organizers who worked many hours and coordinated with the city to figure this all out. So they basically had to re-interview all of the hosts and the bands, like who can make it, who can host, who can't, what are the bands going to do. And they did a ton of work and put it all out there. Their website is updated. They said if there's as more changes happen, they'll keep posting. So check melroseporchfest.org. What was fun for us as a band last weekend is the host that was going to have us outside had a little indoor party for the bands that play for each other. So it was like our first Tiny Desk concert, playing in a living room, and it was so much fun and super enjoyable. So the music plays on, so that's going to be fun. You can catch the honeybees though on Sunday at Oktoberfest. We got a set going there with Tim Co and Co providing the music on Sunday, so that'll be fun.
Where and what time?
So the Oktoberfest is Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah, 1 to 5, right? Or 12 to 5.
12 to 5 is Oktoberfest, and you're playing 12:30 to 2:30.
Yeah, and Timco from 3 to 5, something like that. So there'll be live music most of the afternoon.
Where are you going to be? Porch Fest?
No, they're not.
You're not doing Porch Fest?
There's a subset of, I think there's 2 or 3 people from the band doing like a rogue off the map installation, like before the official Porch Fest starts.
Yeah.
So.
And I just want to back up, since we discussed Oktoberfest, which is again Sunday, 12 to 5. I want to just remind people, look at that crew. This is from July. We had a beer garden in July. I think everyone knows that. This was fun.
We're gonna have different fall outfits.
Yeah, fall outfits now coming up. So Oktoberfest is Sunday, this coming Sunday, October 1st. I loved that it was Oktoberfest, October 1st.
Yeah.
An easy marketing campaign.
Good job, Tom.
12 to 5 on Sunday. So that'd be fun.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
And last but not least for this weekend, Melrose Destination Imagination. The season has launched. Teams are forming in grades K through 12, a STEAM education program. So if your student is interested and you want to find out more, you can visit melrosedi.com to get some information, and then come and meet with us. The city coordinators are hosting office hours at Cafe Nero, because we're no dummies, on both Saturday and Sunday morning. So you can just, from 8:30 a.m. to 10, you can just drop in, learn more about the program. We can help you get a team pulled together, and tell you a little bit more. So, and then of course all events going forward, we just covered this weekend, but there's a slew of things, all kinds of stuff happening all over town from all of our amazing creative and cultural organizations at the creativealliance.org. Is that what we're
amazing? That's right. You got it. Nailed it.
So
great.
Yeah.
Wow. Here we are.
There's, speaking of the BB, well, so here's a question for you, Tom.
Yeah.
Will the BB estate, the BB estate's not open during the day, right? Because
the BB estate itself on Sunday is closed. The building itself is closed. The beer garden, I should mention that.
Because there are when I ask, there are art installations at the BB estate.
Yeah, so that's come up too. It's a different set of kind of people involved, and so we haven't raised the beer garden experience to that level of including art, but it has come up. But I do want to mention, yes. So the beer garden, the Oktoberfest is at the BB on the front lawn. There's no parking there, so please make other arrangements to get there. And big thanks to Idle Hands Craft Ales. They'll be there selling beer. And food trucks will be there, 3 food trucks. We've got Lockwood Shower will be there. Kindred Grapes will be there. And then a new one called Sims Barbecue. And so there will be food, there'll be
Wow.
games, bring the kids, bring the blankets, hang out for the day.
So
Wow.
some pro tips from last time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Get in line for food early.
Yeah.
Third food truck, so that'll hopefully make it
Yeah.
easier.
Yeah.
Bring your
Yeah.
own blanket.
Bring your own blankets.
What else? What other pro tips do you have?
The people brought chairs last time, so we said yes to chairs. So there's no issue if people want to bring those little sports chairs that kind of fold up.
And there are picnic tables again, right?
And so yeah, Idle Hands will bring beer garden tables and benches, which is nice. They had about a dozen last time. They went pretty quickly, so they get filled up. But it's open space, and so just bring your stuff and you hang out.
It's also fun for the whole family, right? There was the beanbag toss game
Yep.
and like
Yeah, cornhole.
Cornhole, thank you. And I saw a lot of kids there.
Yeah,
People
and
would
music.
bring music, but you could bring your kids, you could bring your dog.
Yeah.
It was just a good hangout scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there was a line last time. Do you have to wait in line only if you drink beer, or can you?
No,
Is
that's a
that
great
why
question.
Checking
So,
IDs. There's a line to check IDs too.
so the line to get in was actually held up. This was again our first effort to have a beer garden in Melrose, and so we learned a lot. The line was held up because the line inside the beer garden where they sell the beer was kind of long enough that it blocked the entrance, and so we were holding the line for the entrance until the beer line got smaller, and then we let people in. So it wasn't a matter of the crowd was too big. It was more logistics with the lines getting in each other's way.
Oh,
This time, the line for the beer is being moved a different place, a different direction entirely. So this should not be the line to get in last time. I know people were kind of frustrated because there was a line to actually get into the BB garden, the front yard, that was being held up for that reason. So hopefully that'll be a thing of the past and not an issue this time around.
yeah, good. Oh, good. I didn't realize that. But so I don't drink beer, but do I have to still wait in line and get my ID checked?
It did only if there's a line. Like in other words, there was only a line because of the issue. Yes, you do have to get your ID checked if you're going to be coming in. That's just how they do it because they sell non-beer options as well, like hard ciders and all that. So it's only because you're coming in that they want to card you for the day. That's all it comes down.
Cool.
To.
All right.
Cool. Even if
It was good system. So it's great that you're tweaking it, but I have to say, like, everybody was chill. Like if there was a line for food or whatever, it was actually I was in that for a little bit at one point, and it was like it actually became an opportunity to visit with people and hang out. Like it was just it was really good. And but yeah, they have to keep control, entrance and exit, and that's why there's no parking in there. And then there's a police detail making sure everything's cool. But everybody was chill. It was beautiful, and I think we're gonna have fantastic weather.
Yeah, it should be a nice day too on Sunday, so that's gonna be great. And then
that's good weather for all these events. Then that's great.
Saturday and Sunday, yeah. And then one last note too: the Ped Bike folks, the Ped Bike Committee, are going to be there doing their valet, they call it, a bike valet and a stroller valet. So if you're coming on a bike or coming with a stroller, they're going to be on hand to kind of park it for you and watch over, and then you can go do your stuff and have a fun day.
That's great. Love that.
Yeah, it should be great.
Yeah.
All right.
So my only other tip would be come at the beginning and stay till the end.
Yeah, there you go. And make sure you listen to Honeybees.
That's right.
2:30.
Yeah,
that's right.
All right. Well, I guess on that, this coming weekend.
This weekend we'll definitely see you around town.
See you around town.
All right.